NEC Section 210.19 states that 240-volt circuits intended to supply only one line-to-line connected load must consist of a phase conductor, which is typically black, a neutral conductor, which is white, and an equipment grounding conductor, which is green or bare. NEC Section 250.119 states that neutral conductors of 240-volt two-wire circuits must be identified by color, either white or gray, at both ends and throughout their entire length. The inspector's requirement to mark the white neutral wire with red tape at both ends is not in accordance with the NEC. To convert 120 volts wiring to 240 volts two-wire wiring, the following steps must be taken. Firstly, replace the white neutral wire with a red or black wire. This ensures proper identification at both ends and is compliant with NEC 210.19 FR. Secondly, maintain the green or bare equipment grounding conductor. Thirdly, mark the equipment grounding conductor with green tape. There are several reasons to avoid using red tape on neutral wires. Firstly, it creates a safety hazard. Red tape can create confusion and increase the risk of misidentifying the neutral wire as a phase conductor. Secondly, it is non-compliant with the NEC. The NEC specifically requires neutral conductors to be identified by white or grey color. Thirdly, it can cause potential future issues. If future modifications or repairs are made to the circuit, the red tape could be removed or damaged, leading to misidentification. To ensure compliance with the NEC and maintain the safety of the electrical system, the white neutral wire should not be marked with red tape. Instead, it should be replaced with a red or black wire to properly identify the 240-volt two-wire circuit. A 240-volt two-wire circuit typically consists of two conductors and a ground. One conductor is a hot wire, usually black, carrying the electrical current. The other conductor, which in this case was a neutral wire, needs to be correctly identified when converting from a 120-volt circuit. The ground wire is a safety feature, typically green or bare, that provides a path for electrical current in case of a fault. The NEC sets the standard for safe electrical installations. Adhering to these standards is crucial for preventing electrical hazards such as shocks and fires. Replacing the white wire with a red or black wire is essential for clearly distinguishing it as a hot wire in the 240-volt circuit. This prevents confusion during maintenance or future modifications. Grounding is another critical aspect of electrical safety. The equipment grounding conductor ensures that metallic parts of electrical equipment are properly grounded, reducing the risk of electric shock. Marking the grounding conductor with green tape further enhances safety and ensures compliance with the NEC. When converting from 120 volts to 240 volts, it is important to understand the differences in voltage and current. A 240-volt circuit delivers twice the voltage of a 120-volt circuit, which can provide more power for certain appliances and equipment. However, it also requires careful wiring and proper installation to prevent electrical hazards. Misidentifying wires can have serious consequences, leading to electrical shocks, equipment damage, and even fires. Therefore, it is essential to follow the NEC guidelines and use appropriate color coding to ensure that wires are correctly identified. Red tape may seem like a simple solution for marking wires, but it can create confusion and increase the risk of misidentification. The NEC requires specific color codes for neutral and hot wires to prevent such confusion. The white or gray color is reserved for neutral wires, while black or red is used for hot wires. By adhering to these color codes, electricians and homeowners can easily identify the function of each wire and avoid making dangerous mistakes. The NEC is regularly updated to reflect the latest advancements in electrical technology and safety practices. It is important to stay informed about these updates and ensure that all electrical work complies with the current edition of the NEC. Consulting with a qualified electrician is always recommended when undertaking electrical work, especially when converting from one voltage to another. An electrician can assess the existing wiring, determine the appropriate size and type of conductors, and ensure that all work is performed safely and in compliance with the NEC. In addition to following the NEC guidelines, it is also important to consider local electrical codes and regulations. These codes may have additional requirements or restrictions that must be followed. The local electrical inspector plays a crucial role in ensuring that electrical installations are safe and compliant. The inspector reviews the plans, inspects the work, and issues permits to ensure that all electrical work meets the required standards. If the local inspector's requirement to mark the white neutral wire with red tape is not in accordance with the NEC, it is important to discuss the issue with the inspector and provide them with information about the NEC requirements. In most cases, the inspector will be willing to reconsider their requirement if presented with valid reasons and evidence. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that the electrical installation is safe and compliant, regardless of the specific requirements of the inspector. By following the NEC guidelines and working with a qualified electrician, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to leave it to the professionals if you are not comfortable working with electricity.